الله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وهو الذي أنشأ لكم السمع والأبصار والأفئدة قليلا ما تشكرون وهو الذي ذرأكم في الأرض وإليه تحشرون وهو الذي يحيي ويميت وله اختلاف الليل والنهار أفلا تعقلون بل قالوا مثل ما قال الأولون قالوا أئذا متنا وكنا ترابا وعظاما أئنا لمبعوثون لقد وعدنا نحن وآباؤنا هذا من قبل إن هذا إلا أساطير الأولين قل لمن الأرض ومن فيها إن كنتم تعلمون سيقولون لله قل أفلا تذكرون قل من رب السماوات السبع ورب العرش العظيم سيقولون لله قل أفلا تتقون قل من بيده ملكوت كل شيء وهو يجير ولا يجار عليه إن كنتم تعلمون سيقولون لله قل فأنى تسحرون بل أتيناهم بالحق وإنهم لكاذبون صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. In this part of the surah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is establishing His oneness. First addresses the mushrikeen of Makkah. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنشَأَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. Allah is the one who created for you ears and eyes and hearts. So the wisdom of the Quran herein, and we've talked about it under a different ayah as well, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the ears first, and then the eyes, and then the heart. And if you think about it, when we think generally, if we compare in importance our eyes and our ears, we naturally think that our eyes are more sensitive and more important, but in reality, the most knowledge that we get is through ears. More than what we see, we hear and we learn by hearing and listening. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions ears first as well. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنشَأَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ. The second most important one for learning is eyes. You learn by seeing. وَالْأَفْئِدَةِ, and the hearts that accept the truth. And Allah made all of those things. قَلِيلًا مَا تَشْكُرُونَ, but little do you give thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَهُوَ الَّذِي ذَرَأَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ وَإِلَيْهِ تُحْشَرُونَ, and He is the one who created you on the earth, and it is unto Him that you will all be returned, collected towards. وَهُوَ الَّذِي يُحْيِي وَيُمِيتُ, He is the one who gives you life and death. وَلَهُ اخْتِلَافُ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, and there is your life, your death, and the circle of day, which provides for all of your needs, essentially, around you. So the world itself is not just there, but it has this circle of light and day, which light and darkness, which in turn, this process provides for your needs that you need. That the sun gives heat at a certain part of the day, which grows your crops, and it gives light for your crops, and then it goes down and there is darkness, so that you can relax and you can recoup your energy, and there is growth that occurs in darkness. So all of those things are mentioned here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in very few words is pointing towards all of those things, that Allah is the one who created you on earth, and to Him you're going to return, and while you are here, He is the one who has provided for you everything that you needed. أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, so do you not ponder, do you not understand? بَلْ قَالُوا مِثْلَ مَا قَالَ الْأَوَّلُونَ, rather they would just say as the earlier people had said. قَالُوا, they had said, أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا أَإِنَّا لَمَبْعُوثُونَ. They said, the previous people said this very superficial, senseless sentence, and they are going to say this again. These people are the people of today's time, which is the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and disbelievers up to the day of judgment, they keep on saying these things, but it does not make any sense. If you look around yourself and you look at yourself, then this does not make any sense. أَإِذَا مِتْنَا وَكُنَّا تُرَابًا وَعِظَامًا أَإِنَّا لَمَبْعُوثُونَ. They say that when we will die and become dust and bones, Is it that we will be raised again? So in today's world as well, we see that people say this, but in reality, it does not hold any logic. If you were created once, then why is it hard for you to understand, or for anyone to understand, that you can be resurrected, you can be created again? لَقَدْ وُعِدْنَا نَحْنُ وَآبَاؤُنَا هَذَا مِنْ قَبْلُ إِنْ هَذَا إِلَّا أَسَاطِيرُ الْأَوَّلِينَ. As if the Quran is speaking directly to us, but this is the language of the Quran, and the message of the Quran is universal in time as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is addressing the pagans of Makkah of that time directly, but this applies to everyone who wants to say this. لَقَدْ وُعِدْنَا نَحْنُ وَآبَاؤُنَا هَذَا مِنْ قَبْلُ. They said that this is what has been promised to us and our fathers before. So our ancestors, they were told the same thing, and we are being told, in hada illa asatirul awwalin. This is nothing but the tales of the ancient people. This is what, na'uzu billah, the agnostics and the atheists, those who don't want to believe in any religion, they also treat religion as something that is an ancient tale. قُلْ لِمَنِ الْأَرْضُ وَمَنْ فِيهَا إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Say, who is in the earth, whose is the earth, and all those therein, if you have knowledge. So ask them, who is controlling everything? If you have knowledge, then ask yourself this question: who is controlling and who is running this system so beautifully? And the control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is so precise and so exact and so intricate that you cannot simply say that this is happening, all of it is happening by its own self. The distance that is there between the earth and the sun, if it was less, it was just a little tiny bit less, the whole earth would have been barren. And it was just a little tiny more, the whole earth would be such a cold place that nobody could have been able to survive here. Similarly, the system of the day and night that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned here, and the sun at its very exact time rises on that same time, exact same time, minute for minute, second for second, every single time. When the next year comes, the same day, same time, exact same rising time, exact same setting time. Who is there who is controlling it in such a perfect manner? So the people of Makkah at that time, the mushriks, the pagans, they would believe, they would say that the only owner and the creator is Allah, but then they would also say that there is partners. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that when you believe in Allah, and when you accept the fact that Allah is the one who's created you and who's controlling you, then why would you want to worship someone else? So this message is for everyone, that the religion and the message of the prophets is not asatirul awwalin. It's not just lines and messages that tales of ancient people. But if you have any sense and you look around yourself and you look within yourself, then you will come to the conclusion that there is some God and there is one God who is controlling everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given these proofs that if there was multiple gods, then they will fight for authority. Just like when we have people who are controlling different territories, countries that are controlling different territories, then they want to expand their territory. This is what everyone understands. So if you think that when you come to the conclusion that there's someone controlling, and then you stupidly come to the conclusion that there's multiple entities controlling the system of the universe, then it comes to sense that they would start fighting with each other, and they would start fighting for territory and authority, and that is not possible. Then you come to the conclusion that there is only one God who's controlling everything so perfectly. So say to them, limanil ardu wa man fiha in kuntum ta'lamun. Whose is the earth and whatever is in the earth, in kuntum ta'lamun, if you know. Sayaquluna lillah. They will definitely say it is for Allah. Qul afala tadhakkarun. Then why do you not take heed? قُلْ مَنْ رَبُّ السَّمَاوَاتِ السَّبْعِ وَرَبُّ الْعَرْشِ الْعَظِيمِ. Say, who's the Lord of the seven heavens and the Lord of the great throne? Who has the control of everything? سَيَقُولُونَ لِلَّهِ. They will say, it is Allah. قُلْ أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ. Then tell them, ask them, why do you still not fear Allah and you associate partners with Allah? قُلْ مَنْ بِيَدِهِ مَلَكُوتُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ يُجِيرُ وَلَا يُجَارُ عَلَيْهِ إِن كُنْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ. Say, who is the Lord of in whose hand lies the kingdom of everything, and who gives protection and no protection? He is the Yujir, he is the one who gives protection. Wala yujaru alayhi, and no protection can be given against him. In kuntum ta'lamun, if you have knowledge. Sayaquluna lillah. They would definitely say it is Allah. All of this belongs to Allah. Qul fa anna tusharun. Tell them, the pagans of Makkah, when you believe in Allah that much, then فَأَنَّا تُسْحَرُونَ, ask them that, then has somebody cast a spell on you? Has somebody done magic to you and you are under the effect of that magic, that you are saying Allah is one, you are saying Allah controls everything, still you want to worship multiple gods. بَلْ أَتَيْنَاهُمْ بِالْحَقِّ وَإِنَّهُمْ لَكَاذِبُونَ. The truth is, tell them that Allah has given the truth to them. بَلْ أَتَيْنَاهُمْ بِالْحَقِّ, we have brought to them the truth. وَإِنَّهُمْ لَكَاذِبُونَ. The reality of the problem is that they just don't want to accept. They are just liars and they don't want to accept. Otherwise, every logic, every reason dictates that they should only worship one Allah and submit to the Tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us among those people who worship only Allah in letter and spirit. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعلنا من أهل القرآن الذين هم أهلك وخاصتك. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.